Joe Drums coming to you. I hope everybody out there is doing great. I'm doing awesome. We've got another song today. This is going to be Imagine by John Lennon. Remember, we're in the Drums 2 book, Songbook 1. And the last video we did was by Muddy Waters. And so this time we're going to do some John Lennon. This is a pretty easy song as far as following the basic beat and everything. Just a couple of fills throughout the song. So it's not about, playing fancy on this song. It's all about the song, the piano, the bass guitar, the voice, and it's important to establish that. It's not some, fast song. It's a slow ballad, and it's very meaningful. So you have to play it with feeling to get the right feel with the drums with it. How we're going to start this is actually the first 4 measures. Actually, on the first line, we're on page 12, and this is song number 4 in the Drums 2 book. Songbook 1, by the way, again. We're going to play nothing for the first 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Basically 11 measures that we're not playing. We just have to wait till the fill comes in. And the first fill that we're doing is we have a half rest and a whole rest. Whole rest is at the bottom. It's basically taking care of the bass drum. So obviously the bass drum's not in this measure, but we are playing a couple of toms. We're playing the high tom and we're playing the floor tom. So I think back in the day, probably when they recorded this, it could have been like a 4-piece kit. So that's why they did just a high tom and a floor tom. So it's probably, snare bass, small tom, large tom, that was it. And then probably a couple of crashes, maybe a ride and a hi-hat. Could be one crash for all, who knows. But anyway, so this one, when you start off with the very first measure that starts to play with the drums, it's 1, 2, 3 E and 4 E and. Okay, so it's 3 E and 4, you say, and then E and. So that goes 1, 2, 3 and 4 E and then you start the beat. Now this beat is the same beat that goes through all the way through to the first crash, and then it keeps going on the next verse, and it keeps playing that same beat. First 1 bass drum and then 2. So I'll play all the way through that just so you can see. And here's how this goes: 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and crash. All right, we're on to the second page. We did the first line. We're going to go do the second line. We're actually in part C of the song, and this is the next verse where it starts. And again, we start with the main beat. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 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 And now we're on the last line on page 13. We're going to get ready to do the second measure, which has this other type of fill. This is where the fill and the beat kind of coincide together. So we play a beat for half of the measure, and then the other half is the fill. So it's a shorter fill, obviously. So the fill is going to start like this. Here's the beat first. 1 and 2 and 3. Then we're going to hit one more hi-hat after beat 3 with the hi-hat, with the bass. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and then you're going to go a 4 and. So it's on a 4 on the tom, on the high tom, and then a floor tom. So here's how that sounds together. 1, 2, 3 and a 4 and then you crash back to the beat. Alright, so that's pretty much pages 1 and 2. This is only a 3-page song. We're going to keep continuing to play. On the 3rd page, the beat's the same. When it goes to the 2nd measure on page 14, the 2nd measure is just a regular bass, snare, bass, snare. It doesn't go bass, bass, snare. So here's how that sounds with the crash at the end. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, crash. Then we wait for it to let that ring for a full measure. Then we come back in. This is that letter D now. We're on the 2nd line of page 14. Again, same beat. And then on the 2nd beat, we're going to add a little fancy extra bass drum on the of 4. So I'll get to that right now. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the 1st measure. 2nd measure, here comes the on 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a 1. So that 3 and 4 and a 1. So notice the bass drum hits all by itself on the and then we come in with the next bass drum with the hi-hat because the beat's starting over again. So again, on letter D, the 2nd measure, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a 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 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and there's that same fill that we just did prior on the previous page. And now it's back again, and we're ending at the last line of page 14, which is ending 1. We're going to have to go all the way back to the beginning, and how we do that, we flip the page back, and we go right to page 13, which is the 2nd page. We go back to letter C, and that starts where the double bar, double dot is. So then we're going to play that whole thing again. Again, the bass drum and snare drum are just playing bass, snare, bass, bass, snare, all the way through to C. And then at the very last line of 13, the 2nd measure, we're going to play that little 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and crash, 2, 3 and 4 and. Then we turn the page. We're back on the last page, 14. We're going to continue with the beat still. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crash. 2, 3, 4. Continue with letter D. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a 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 1, 2, 3, and a 4. And then we're going to crash on the 2nd ending. That's the last line. And that's the end of the song. Simple as that. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. I will explain anything that I just covered here on these last 3 pages with the song Imagine by John Lennon. And we're looking forward to the next video because we're going to be talking about the song Layla by Eric Clapton. And we're going to kind of do a more jazzier version of it. That's the way he did it back in the... I forget when what was that, well, the original song came out in the 70s, but then later on he did a remake with the concert, and he kind of did a little more jazzier patterns. So it's got a little bit of swing to it instead of just the regular rock way that they did it back in the 70s. But we'll get into all of that on the next video. This is JoeDrums2112 signing off. Oh, by the way, hope you guys like my new t-shirts. If you guys want one, and you want to purchase one, I can get the sizes for you. Just let me know what size if you want to order one. I haven't decided the price yet, but I will let you know soon. And until then, you guys take care. Keep rocking. This is JoeDrums2112 signing off. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.